are the founder and director, the CEO of Sascan. If
Mm.
I went through your site, so it's made up of two words. It's SARS, the breath, plus cancer
Yeah.
initials we have taken. So
Yes.
it's the breath and the cancer. So SARS scan. So Dr. Subhash, how was this startup found? Before I can ask you this, I would like to know a little bit of your background, like who you are, what you did, how you came up here.
So my background is like this. I am basically a physicist, and I took my PhD from Cochin University in the 1980 in the area of lasers. That is photonics, you can say. And then I was working as a scientist in an institution called Center for Earth Science Studies in Trivandrum. So I superannuated in 2013 actually. During the last stages of my career in that institution, that institution is basically an institution supported by the Ministry of Earth Sciences under the Government of India. So I was working in the area of remote sensing basically in the studying the vegetation stress and other things in plants and corals also I was investigating through remote sensing techniques. So what I thought was that I could apply this kind of technology for looking at the various diseases in the human being like the oral cancer and the tooth caries, gingival inflammation, then cervical cancer, because these are things which could possibly create a greater impact in the whole system, So that's why I thought I will switch to that area, and I worked really for 10 to 15 years in that domain. That's a biophotonics application of photonics. That is the interaction of radiation with matter, human tissues, and all. And then, so I started developing, building these kind of devices and testing it on a clinical basis, collaborating with the regional cancer center in Trivandrum and also the Medical College in Trivandrum. So I could mentor PhD students also during that period in the domain. So I had established a credibility, and by that time I was awarded an Novartis Suresh Award by the Indian Council for Medical Research in 2010 also. So all these made me a specialist in that domain over a period of time. Then I got funding from the BIRAC under the big scheme to that is around 50 lakhs in 2015 to start this company. In the meantime, I had the opportunity of working with startups also like in Forest Health in Bangalore and Winwish Technologies in Trivandrum. So where I was working as consultants and things like that. So this is my journey into this particular domain of cancer research. So now
Great, sir.
that
This is the very first time I'm in conversation with a physicist. It's been episode, we are having an episode of 52. So
yeah,
very warm welcome, and I'm so great to, speak with you.
thank you so much for this opportunity. So
No problem,
yeah,
Doc.
yeah.
So I would like to know, sir, how many products Sascan has developed till now? I guess you are into cervix,
Mm.
future products, colon, aerodigestive tract, and intraoral is also coming. See and treat, I guess. So
Mm.
currently, abhi हमारे पास what products are available?
Currently, we have one product in the market that is basically for screening and early detection of oral cavity cancer. Uh, that was introduced in the market in 2020 October, and it's a CE mark product. Our company is ISO 13485 2016 certified. That's the standard for developing medical devices. We have implemented the quality management system complying with that standard in our company. That is the basic requirement for development of medical devices in the country. So after that, this is a technology which is developed by us alone, the technology which is used for that. So we have a patent on that, and that same platform technology we have adopted for screening of cervical cancers also. As you may know, this development of medical devices involves a lot of clinical validation and regulatory approvals. So it takes a lot of time to develop product. So since 2015, we have been working with the clinicians and the hospitals, and finally we got it cleared by the Drug Controller Authority in 2020 to take it to the market. So it was a long journey, and then in the meanwhile, we started working on the cervical cancer device, and that completed the phase 1 clinical validation in Customer Medical College, Manipal. Later, it is undergoing the phase 2 validation in Trivandrum. That's a government medical college, Trivandrum. We are doing the validation at SAP Hospital, and and the CDSO has asked us to complete the validation 2,500 samples before it is taken to the market. So we are at it, and we hope to introduce it in the next year into the market. Simultaneously, we are working on a couple of other products because once you detect cancer early, it is most appropriate to use some kind of novel techniques, develop novel techniques that can treat cancers early. So we are developing a product for photodynamic therapy of treating early stage oral and cervical cancer. So that is a device which has been prototyped and developed with some funding from the Sridhara Institute, where we are incubated right now. And this product needs to be clinically validated. So we have to have some drug that's called a photosensitizing drug that is to be applied on the tissue. This drug gets selectively absorbed by the cancer cells. And after a few hours of application, you can use a laser light or a high intensity LED light to target those cells which have absorbed the photosensitizer, so that targeted therapy is possible, unlike chemotherapy in which you attack the entire cells, the body, and the people become very much intolerant to these drugs also, these chemicals which are used for that, and there are a lot of side issues, side problems with chemotherapy. But this is something which is localized treatment, and you can target those cells selectively so that the patient can get cure in a faster mode with less side effects. So that
Okay.
is one area in which we are working. Yeah, and another area we are looking at is for treatment of diabetic foot ulcers. It's called antimicrobial photodynamic therapy, in which you target the bacteria, the pathogenic bacteria which are present in the ulcers or wounds of diabetic patients. And the problem is that the diabetic patients tend to develop bacterial resistance. This antibiotic become resistant to the bacteria, so that even if you try different antibiotic, the bacteria will not be killed, and you have to finally amputate the leg. So in such scenarios, we have a technique by which we apply sensitizer kind of thing, or a dye which is absorbed by the bacteria, pathogenic bacteria, so that after some time we can use a light radiation, target those bacteria and kill them, so that the amputation issues can be solved, the problem with the AMR, that antimicrobial drug resistance can be solved. All these issues can be solved using this technique called antimicrobial photodynamic therapy. For that also, we have developed a affordable PDT device using LEDs with some imaging cameras to monitor the treatment progress also. So that also is ready, and it has to be clinically validated. The problem we face basically is regarding the approval for the drugs that have to be used in both these studies. We are trying to get the clearances from the drug controller before we start the clinical trials. So that is the
Right.
stages, various products that are in the pipeline. As you rightly said, we can develop for endoscopic also the same kind of platform technology, but it involves a lot of resources, manpower, and money also to develop such products and clinically validate it and bring it to the market. So that is a major problem we are facing with the fundraise and other things, and in the marketing of the products we have issues. So these are to be sorted out.
When the product will be coming in the market next year, so
Mm.
can you just share an approx range, like what will be the price range for the product?
For the cervical, no, right now the oral cancer product is being sold around 5 lakhs.
Okay.
Cervical will be slightly more expensive, around 7
Right,
lakhs. We
of
should be able to sell it.
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Sir, can you just share the basic technology? Like, if there is cancer in oral cavity,
Mm.
how is it able to detect it? Like, how is it able to say ki, yes, there is cancer in it? Just a
Okay.
basic technology.
Okay. So we have a camera integrated into our device, so that
Okay.
we can take multiple images when you are eliminating the tissue with wavelengths of different light. So what we have is a multi-spectral imaging camera That is, such a camera
Right.
is called a multifocal imaging camera, and we collect images of tissue fluorescence and the diffuse reflectance. Tissue fluorescence happens when some of the molecules inside the tissue absorb the light and emit it at a longer wavelength. We call it fluorescence
Right.
emission. So that light can be captured by the camera. So when we have a oral cavity lesion, we illuminate the lesion with our device, and the light that gets reflected from the surface, that is the photograph you take in a camera photograph, like you take a photograph, that is from the surface you are getting the image. But in our case, we discard those reflections and go deeper into the tissue. Light has to go deeper into the tissue and get absorbed by the biochemical constituents in tissue that change during cancer development. You know that. There are biochemical changes that happen during cancer development, like some of the molecules like NADH or protoporphyrin, which are present in the cells, they increase in number. So that increase the changes we have to monitor. So such a thing we have to implement. So we are having a system by which you look for only those biochemical constituents, the emission from those constituents that come out of the tissue. These are captured by certain optical arrangements in the probe, so that we can capture the images and look for changes in the tissue fluorescence and the diffuse reflectance of the tissues. That diffuse reflectance is basically due to the scattering of light. That light gets reflected backwards by the tissue inhomogeneity, the vasculature changes in the tissue that happen during cancer development. Like, there will be low volume of blood present in the cancer cells during cancer development. And because of that, the more vessels will build up in that area. That's a neovasculature, it is called. So that there will be scattering of the difference in the scattered light from the tissue. So that is to be captured. And when you have low levels of hemoglobin in the tissue, the oxygenated hemoglobin also reduces in the cancer cell, so that we can look at the absorption changes due to oxyhemoglobin in the diffusely reflected light. That is captured by our camera, and that is what is used for detection of cancer, basically. One is using the fluorescent intensity increase, and another is using the mapping, but is to map the changes in the oxyhemoglobin absorption in the tissue. We can detect precisely about the stage of cancer, as well as which area of the lesion is most malignant, so that a directed biopsy is also possible from that area. This will help in proper diagnosis of the grade of cancer, because in the present scenario, the clinicians take a biopsy from a site which they consider as malignant. So sometimes
Correct.
this visual technique may not always lead to the most malignant sites, and underdiagnosis and multiple biopsies are very common in the process. So in order to avoid that, our device will direct the clinician to the most malignant site for a biopsy, so that underdiagnosis can be avoided and proper treatment and care can be given to the patient based on the biopsy results.
Oh,
So this is how
wow.
the device works, basically.
So, sir, can a dentist can get a demo of it? Is it available in major cities?
Yes, we can. There are two ways of getting a demo. One is
Okay.
through our own personal, or otherwise through online process. In the online,
Okay.
we can show by video. Real life. When we are operating with the device, they can see the live video there, and they can ask questions and clarifications, and that is possible to give a understanding of the device. Once they show interest in purchasing the device or something, then our personnel can be sent to that place for a demo. Yeah, because our
Okay. And
company being a small company, we don't have personnel all states to look after these kind of demos. So we have
correct.
basically online demos here.
Sir, so what do you think? You must have researched a lot before forming a product and before coming and becoming the healthcare innovation. So how do you think is the market of dentistry in India right now, and what is the future of it?
The future is excellent, I should say, because more and more products are coming, innovative products are coming. I'm not a dental professional to comment on the market for dentistry products in the country, because we have at least around 20,000 active dentists in the country. All of them will be buying dental products basically for tooth extraction or endodontic treatment, that is the caries treatment, and then the tooth replacement, the bridges and all they have to make. caps and all. They have very good market, I think, and the products are doing good. And there are a lot of dentists and a lot of dental care happening in the country as compared to the other places where I have visited. Especially India, the dental treatment costs are very reasonable as compared to Europe or US. So that's why dentistry
Correct.
has a very good market. People might come from other countries for getting dental treatment here because it's very attractive and it has a very good potential. And when newer products, technology products come into the market, things become easier. And I can tell you the product we have developed, similar products are not available anywhere in the world. This is the first of its kind in the world. Actually, such a
Wow.
multispectral imaging device is there for screening and early detection of epithelial cancer. That is, epithelial cancers are the cancers affecting the internal body linings. That's they call it
Correct.
squamous cell carcinoma. So we are in
Right.
that domain we are working in. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sir, so can you share the best, like if a person doesn't know he or she has cancer, but he has all the habits of like eating tobacco and the history,
Yeah, yeah,
complete history. So
yeah.
what do you think is the right age to get a scan done, especially for oral?
Yeah. If you are a tobacco habitué, then within 3 years of starting that, probably you should have a
Okay,
scan done. Even 18 years,
correct.
anyone above 18 years, whether you are a smoker or a tobacco chewer, you should get your oral cavity screened. Because if you can detect the disease early, the treatment process is much simpler, less costly, and affordable, and
Correct.
you don't end up in death. So that's the important thing. Late stage of detection is the main cause for mortality due to oral and cervical cancer. Because can you imagine, more than 50% of the people who are detected with oral and cervical cancer, they end up in death. This is
Right.
the
And
major concern in the country, right now.
right. And sir, even if it's before 18 years of age, because many teenage gets into tobacco. So if a
Mm.
person is maybe 12, 13 years of age, so after within 3 years after consuming, so first scan can be done.
Certainly. Even youngsters, 14-year-olds also start having this tobacco habits, especially in rural villages and all this. Especially, I noted that the working class, the people who work in the fields, and the poor people,
Right.
even the ladies who are at home, they due to poverty, this tobacco habits can reduce their appetite. So they have this tobacco always in their mouth, and that constant interaction with the mucosal tissues can create some kind of ulcerations, which can later lead to cancer. So these are things to be taken care of. So abnormal lesion like a white patch or a red velvety patch, they should get their oral cavity examined. Even an ulcer, which remains, it could be a tooth bite, which is on the tongue or something. If it is
Correct.
persistently there for more than a month, you should go and get yourself checked. It could turn cancerous. This is the reality.
Right. Sir, so how much is the radiation of the scan?
Radiation, we are using visible lights basically. One is the
Right.
405 nanometer, a green light and the red light. And they are from emitting from LEDs, not laser light or anything, very small
Oh,
intensity light we are using. So that
correct.
there are no issues that will be there due to the irradiation with the light beam on the tissue.
Okay. So, sir, people, pregnant women can go ahead with this?
Certainly. It is not an issue. They all
Okay.
can have the cervical screening done also. There are many people who come for screenings in our hospitals. Maybe another important thing, not only cancer, our device for cervical examination can also detect cervicitis, that is inflammation of the cervix, also can be detected.
Oh,
It can
wow.
be discriminated from cancer. So that is one important aspect of the cervical cancer device, screening device called cerviscan. So
Right.
these are the
And sir,
important. Yeah,
regarding
tell me.
regarding cervix cancer, I just got to know hardly 2 or 3 years back that there is a vaccination specifically for cervix. So
Yeah.
as a teen, I didn't know that, getting a cervix vaccination, especially if it's before 15 or 18, is the best way to prevent it. So, yes, I guess through these conversations and through the advancements, we can prevent many, many more cancers. And if it's a very advanced stage, I guess in future we can prevent them too.
That is very true, actually. The vaccines cost some money, but it's
Yeah.
not very much prevalent in the country. We have started the vaccination, but US and all, it is very common for young girls to go for the vaccination. And 2 or 3 doses of vaccination will help you avoid this cervical cancer going forward. But in India, now the government is focusing on vaccination also. That's a very good step, actually. However, still, we should take care that there are different kinds of viruses. I don't know whether it will address all the viruses, cervical human papilloma virus. It's caused by human papilloma virus, you know that. Whether it
Right,
all
right.
the variants are addressed using that, but still, care should be there. Hygiene has to be practiced by women of all ages. And I think vaccination is a major step in that direction to avoid deaths or minimize deaths due to cervical cancer. But
Correct. And
however,
so,
still, you should do regular checkups. Regular checkups
for
every
sure.
3 or 4 years. You should have. Yeah. But the problem is that our women, especially in India, they are reluctant to go for cervical examination unless
Exactly.
there is a problem. Unless there is a problem, this is the problem. If you have some bleeding or discharge, only they will go. But
Right,
it would be
right.
late by that time. The only thing that can save them is to have a regular examination of the cervix. Every three
Correct.
years is what is recommended, I think. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Sir, so how can a dental surgeon work with you or work for you? How can we be a part of your vision?
So dentists are always collaborating with us. In our team also, we have 3 dental professionals. We have a team of only around 13 or 14 people, out of
Oh,
which
wow.
3 are dental professionals. One is a PhD in dentist, others are BDS dental professionals. They help us in the demos and clinical validation. And we also collaborate with the dental professionals, that is dental colleges, and to conduct screening camps and screening of early lesions we do regularly. And we have a collaboration, IDA also, we conduct screening camps, collaborate with the Indian Dental Association, though we have a close tie-up with them. So they can be a big boost for increasing the sales, word of mouth, or we collaboration with them and things like that would improve the I mean, awareness of such a device existing in the country for that matter. And we publish our results in dental journals and there's medical journals also. So once they come to know of it, they will also come forward to collaborate with us. And one more thing, we mentor dental students also. These
Oh,
India students come to our company for their project activities and also so
right.
that way we support them in various fields in which we can provide support. We will help them out. Yes.
Uh, Sir, can we see you guys in the December this year, Delhi's Pragati Medan conference, dental conference? Are you guys coming to the conferences?
We have not decided on, but we might decide to send some of our personal and our device for demo. But however, still we were recently there in the Pragati Maidan in April this year.
Yeah.
There was a National Technology Week celebration. You
Okay.
remember that?
Right,
So
right,
at that time we
right.
were there. Yeah, and we won the National Technology Award for oral scan.
Oh,
This year,
wow.
2023 award we won from the Minister for Science and Technology. He gave us the prize for that. And that time, for 3 days, we were there. 3 or 4 days, we were there in that booth there. So whenever we get an opportunity and a good window for presenting our device, we are there always. Yeah. We want to see.
Oh,
Our interest is not to just to make money, but to have a viable system available for the common man to screen and detect cancers early. And we support we support such activities, screening camps and all. We send our people from here. And recently we collaborated with Lupin, a pharmaceutical company, to do a screening in Varanasi for the mill workers there, So we all support these kind of activities. We are ready to go to any length to do a screening camp, in anywhere any part of the country, of
Right.
course. Our
Sir,
most of
so
all, yeah, see that the disease is detected early and people are benefited by whatever technologies we develop. At the end of the day, uh, people's benefit is our focus area.
sir, so we in our clinic have done a lot of camps. So we
Mm,
do camps in various other cities as well. So
mm,
exactly, our purpose is not to get the patients from the camp to the clinic. That is why we have been doing camps in other states as well. So
mm.
in those camps, can we go ahead with the cancer oral screening device on just a rental basis or something like that, or maybe just because we do some dental x-rays as well in the
Mm,
camps.
mm, mm, mm. So it is possible. We have different schemes for renting. The one is
Okay.
the leased rental model in which the device is given for use for a month's time.
Oh
Unlimited
wow.
screenings you can do
Oh wow. Okay.
for around 20,000 rupees per month with a
Okay.
security deposit if you give. We can provide the
Okay.
devices. And one thing you should take care is that the device needs a dark room environment for
Correct.
measurement. You cannot do the measurement in daylight because
Correct.
what we are looking at is emission that come from inside of the tissues that are very low in intensity. So
Right.
that is the only requirement we need. So that can be provided. Screening can be done very easily, not an issue.
Correct. That's great, sir. So any colleges in Delhi, maybe Maulana Azad, or maybe one of the good cancer hospitals like Dharamshala Cancer Hospital, Vasundhara Enclave, can we find these devices currently in those hospitals?
I think in AIMS they have one device right now
Okay.
with them. They are doing some study with that device in the AIMS hospital,
Okay.
and there is one in NGO called Eco Home Foundation in Delhi.
Okay.
They do screening regularly for oral cancer using our device.
Oh
Eco Home
wow. Okay.
Foundation in Delhi. So that is where it is available in Delhi. So Delhi, this AIMS is planning to buy. Then few more interests are coming from Delhi hospital, some of the hospitals there to buy the device. At this point in time, there are only two devices in the Delhi, I think, in the Delhi capital.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Dr. Subhash, thank you so much. I will keep on be in contact with you for the updates and for the amazing technology, especially from India, that has come up.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I would greatly appreciate if some initiatives are taken from your end for some collaborations with the
Sure.
doctors, dental professionals, and I want to see that this device is has a vast, uh, usage or maybe implemented in a larger way in various districts and villages across the country. And I hope that we plan to collaborate with the ICMR in a big way. There are
Wow.
some opportunities for that, and they would assist us in implementing it, I believe, over a larger sector, maybe rural areas with limited access to healthcare, so that the people of the country are benefited from the device. And I believe people like you, the support from people like you will take us forward and give us more encouragement and support to bring in newer and newer devices in the market. Thank you once again
Thank
for this
you so
opportunity.
much, sir. Thank you. Have a very good day. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good day to you.